Well, it's time for Turtle Talk. We're going to learn a lot about turtles that are in our area. Joining me today from the Ohio Division of Wildlife, the Wildlife Communication Specialist Abby Ditomassi. And thanks for coming today, Abby.
Thanks for having me, Holly.
Okay, turtles. Now, this sounds like a lot of fun, but this is really a serious topic, right? Because you don't want people to have turtles as pets.
Yeah, so turtles, you know, this is the time of year that we're going to encounter them a lot more. And just first things first, a turtle is a reptile. It's got dry, scaly skin. It's got a shell that is actually an extension of its backbone. Usually, if you find shells like this is a dead turtle. If you've seen those cartoons, they cannot leave their shell.
Right.
Like the cartoons show, but they've got, you know, that dry scaly skin. They're cold-blooded, so where you usually see turtles are out basking on logs because they need that sun to warm them, and then they're going to lay eggs. So that's all that makes them a reptile. And a lot of times people will see them and think they're super cute and take them as pets, but we're here to tell you that that is not the best idea at all. Yeah.
All right.
So right now until June, we are going to see them a lot more outside of the water because our turtles that we have in Ohio and Allen County, almost all of them except our woodland box turtle live in water, but they leave that water to go lay their eggs, and they travel long distances, sometimes miles, to find good soil to lay those eggs, and then they will go back to that body of water after leaving these ping-pong-sized eggs in the
They're going to be
ground.
that big. The eggs are going to be
This is very accurate. Like, if you think of a ping pong, this is actually what your turtle eggs may look like, especially the snapping turtle, like with the shell that I have here.
So the turtle you will not see beside the nest of eggs? They'll go back to the water.
Sometimes you can. I've had people call me up and be like, there is a turtle, a large snapping turtle in my yard, in my flower beds usually, laying, like they'll just see them digging a hole, they'll lay them, and then they'll go. So yeah, you mostly will encounter them on the roads, actually. You may see them crossing the roads, and there's some issues with that because a lot of times people will get out to help the turtles across the roads, which...
Is that a good idea or not?
I mean, if it's fine as long as you are making sure you are safe. I just hate for you to be helping this turtle across the road and you be the one that's unfortunately hit by a car. So make sure it's safe if you want to help a turtle. And then make sure you know what turtles you're looking at. On the screen, there's a Midland painted turtle. Those guys aren't bad. You'll see them laying eggs. That's a spiny softshell turtle. But that first picture you saw was a snapping turtle, and that's
you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, and they're the ones you actually really do encounter on the road. So people just have to be careful because they can hurt you. But there is a good way to handle them if you do encounter them. So I've got this big snapping turtle shell here. Never hold a turtle by its tail. That's connected to that backbone. We see a lot of people holding snapping turtles by the tail.
That sounds painful.
Can hurt them. And so if you want to help a snapping turtle across the road, right here where I have my hands, even those smaller turtles, if you're just tucking your fingers under their shell and then your thumbs up top, this will keep you...
And that's the tail end.
This is the tail end. Head end up here because that's the bitey end, right? And so when you are carrying them across the road, keep them away from you. They can reach their necks around, so never have your hands up close.
Oh, really?
Most people want to hold a turtle like this. That's where you get bit or scratched. So back here, that'll keep you from getting bit. And you can help them across the road, help them the same direction they're going, and then leave them there. The main thing is leave them there. I don't care if you find them cute for a pet. If you think that, oh, they're away from water, they need help, they usually don't need help. They're going where they need to go, and so.
Do they go to the same place every year to lay the eggs, or do they go different places, or they don't last that long? I don't know. How long do they live?
Yeah, it just depends. They can go to the same place. They for sure usually like to go to the same body of water for the most part. I don't know if they always choose the same nesting site or not, but I will say out of these little eggs will hatch small little turtles. I mean, they're sometimes as small as like a penny or quarter.
Wow.
And a lot of times people will then find those hatched.
I was going to say, yeah, what do you do when you find the baby ones?
Because then that's when they're super cute, and that's when people think they definitely need saving, they definitely need help. But again, leave them because they're going to come out of those eggs and they're going to go look for bodies of water. And unfortunately, they do get predated on like about 8% survival rate for painted turtles. So they are a tasty snack to predators, and you may want to help them, but they need to be left in the wild.
It's kind of like part of the circle of life and all that, isn't it?
And something else to remember about turtles, when you're thinking about a pet or anything like that, turtles can live a long time, 50 years, sometimes 100 years. Tortoises can live up to 200 years. So these are long-lived animals. When you take them out of the wild, you're taking out potentially a huge line of baby turtles to come because they don't reach sexual maturity until sometimes 10 to 17 years. That's a long time, and that means that you are taking out a whole lineage of turtles just by taking out that one turtle.
And I assume, like, what part are they in? I mean, do they eat insects and things like that? I mean, that's why we want to keep them in the wild too, besides that that's part of their life cycle and things?
Yeah, they're just important because, yeah, they're eating insects, they're eating fruits, vegetables, they're omnivores, so they can eat a wide variety of things depending on which turtle we're talking about, fish. But they're also, like we said, tasty snacks. Foxes, opossums, raccoons, all predate on turtles as well, and those are food for them, whether it's their eggs or those hatchlings. So they are important in the ecosystem.
Okay, so if you see a turtle, look at them, possibly help them across the road, otherwise leave them alone.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks, Abby, for coming today.
Thank you, Holly.
All right, don't go away. We'll take a look at the weather forecast next.